Brought to you by My 11 Circle. Win first prize SUV car. Download the app now.
Let me talk to you about another format, a format where you excelled at. That was ODI cricket. We're getting various opinions. You know, I read Ravi Shastri recently say that ODI cricket may not go on for very long. Make it 40 overs. That may make it exciting. I heard Dinesh Karthik say recently that this 50-over World Cup that you've got probably is the last 50-over World Cup we'll see. What do you see, or what do you foresee, in fact, for ODI cricket? How's ODI cricket's health?
It's getting monotonous without any doubt. There are two parts to it. One is the current format, and the next, which I feel it should be played. Let me talk about the current format. The current format, which has been there for a while now, is two new balls. When you have two new balls, you've kind of eliminated reverse swing. Even though we are in the 40th over of a game, it is actually just the 20th over of that ball. And the ball only starts reversing around 30th over or so, and there is a bit of discoloration. The ball starts getting soft. So if you don't get it right, if a batter doesn't get it right, it's not going to carry all the way. And when the ball starts discoloring, then, you know, to pick the ball, to pick the shiny and the rough side becomes difficult. And that element is missing today because of two new balls. Yes. Also, for spinners, I've spoken to a few spinners, and then for them, I was just trying to understand their mindset with five fielders in the ring. And I said that, for example, I mean, if an off spinner is bowling, a standard field is a short fine leg, deep square leg, deep mid wicket, short mid wicket, and long on. You have long off, cover, point, and third man, or sometimes bring the long off up, put deep point if someone is playing reverse sweep. But one fielder, five fielders are in the ring. So what the bowlers are saying that we don't have the freedom to change our line. We have to stick to middle stump. And even if we know that there is a possibility of batter making a mistake if we change our line, but the price that we end up paying is too heavy. It could be a boundary, and I don't want to give a boundary, just wanting to experiment something. But whereas if we have that extra protection, then I can always do that, but they don't have that today. So the current format, I feel, is heavy on bowlers. It's really, really challenging with five fielders in the ring, yeah, and two new balls. And then coming to the second bit, which I feel is we should be playing 25 overs first. So divide that into 4 halves. It's like test cricket. So 4 innings, but in test cricket you have 20 wickets. In this format, you only have 10 wickets. So if you are dismissed, you're out of the game for the next 25 overs as well. You don't come back and bat again. Because anyways, we are looking to have that balance. And why I feel this, because I had played a tournament long back in Sri Lanka. We played 118 overs without any result, because the first day Sri Lanka batted first. They played all 50 overs. We batted 10 overs. The match was rained off. No result. We turn up the next evening. Sri Lanka again bat first. We bat for 8-10 overs. The match was again called off because of the rain. So we almost ended up playing 118, 120 overs without any result, declared as joint winners. Yeah. So here, if you have 25 overs, and then the other side comes and bats for 25 overs, and then you bat again for 25 overs, at least you've completed 25 overs each. And if the forecast is bad, then you plan differently. You plan your first 25 overs. Do you want to get to 230, 240 in first 25 overs? We are okay to lose 7 wickets or 8 wickets, but let's score more runs because later on it might rain. So all these unpredictabilities will come into play. Right now the game is becoming too predictable from 15th, 12th, 15th over, yeah, to 40th over. It's kind of losing its momentum. There are not enough eyeballs. It's getting boring. So how do we balance that out? how do we balance out the due factor? Because if a captain has lost the toss and he has to bat first and bowl second when there are wet conditions, it becomes really, really difficult to grip the ball. So both teams bowl in the first half and bowl in the second half. Commercially also it makes sense because you get 3 breaks.
True.
I know, because that element is also important. So the challenges were different. The earlier format, there was a different challenge. Earlier format, they used to be day matches. When I played, actually, there was quite some time ago, there used to be day matches. So one had to deal with the first spell in the first half of the match, and the second half of the match, in sunny conditions, the wicket obviously got better, but there was a period when the surface also dried up and spinners got some help. So that element is missing because of the dew factor. So how can we, just by the spin of a coin, you can't literally decide the result of the game. Yeah. It's more or less become that if you're chasing, you play really, really badly, then you lose. But otherwise, the match is alive. So those factors are really important, is what I feel, to reduce the gap between the two teams only because of that coin.
मैच से जुड़े आपके हर सवाल का हम देंगे जवाब। जानने के लिए हर अपडेट, लाइव एनालिसिस, स्पेशल इंटरव्यूज, डाउनलोड कीजिए स्पोर्ट्स तक ऐप।